Hello everybody, my name is Joel. I'm one of the personal trainers and group fitness instructors at Camosun Lansdowne campus. And today I just wanted to go over a few ideas with you. Maybe you're working at home a little more these days. The Thera Bands are a great tool for your fitness. I've got a few with me today. The ones with the handles are great. You can use them for anchor, and of course they're maybe a little more comfortable on your hands. They're typically going to come in different gauges. So the smaller green one, that's probably going to be a lighter gauge. Then I have a red one, which is a little heavier gauge, and then the blue one's going to be your heaviest. And then we also have the Thera Bands without the handles. So whatever you like. I'm going to start off with some lower body exercises. So I'm going to use this band to start. And I'm going to show you one that you can do for your legs. A couple ideas here. So let's say you wanted to, of course, start with a warm-up. That could be running on the spot, doing some jumping jacks, whatever you like, some front crawl for your arms and upper body. So let's start off with a Thera Band squat. I'm just going to step on the band. My feet are going to be about hip to shoulder width. The nice thing about the band is I want to add a little bit of resistance for strength. So of course I could just use my body weight, but if I use a Thera Band, I can use some actual resistance on top of my body weight. So I'm just going to reach a little bit lower towards my toes to get a little more resistance. I'm trying to keep my head up. The nice thing about the Thera Band is you can actually get low and then stand up with that resistance. So I sit back with my weight on my heel and my middle foot. I'm keeping my head up. I'm taking in a breath as I stretch down, weights on my heel, and standing it up tall. We're going to do 10 reps. If you want to do 12 or 15, go with what you're comfortable with. I'm going to do 10 with you today. Remember, try and keep your shoulders back. Lead with your glutes. Keep your weight on your heel and midfoot. Take in a breath as you stretch down. Breathe out as you stand it up. There's that same training count. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000 up. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000 down. Okay, there's our first set of 10 reps. So while I'm got the Thera Band under my feet, I'm going to go right into a Thera Band deadlift. So I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see my form here. I didn't move my feet at all other than turning my body a little bit. I'm going to hinge from my hip, keeping my shoulders back, and then I stand it right up. So you can see I'm hinging more forward. So I end up using my hamstrings, my glutes, my lower back. So my posterior chain muscles, squeezing the glutes at the top. You don't have to touch your toes. As you warm up, maybe into your second set, you might find you're reaching down a little farther. But keep your abs engaged as you hinge forward and stand it up and feel those hamstrings, gluteal, and lower back muscles. Let's do 2 more here. That little bend at the knee keeps the muscle engaged. Abdominals are engaged. I'm keeping my shoulder in line with my hip for 10 reps. Okay, so now maybe I want to go to my upper body. So I'm going to switch from this Thera Band to my blue Thera Band, and I'm going to go into an upper back row now. So for your row, so a few options. If you have a lower back concern, you may not want to be doing your row in a bent position and pulling up here. Instead, you might decide to attach your Thera Band wherever you can. You can brace your feet and you're pulling back and squeezing your shoulder blades there. So you might have your first set there. You might switch your feet and get your second set there. If you want more tension, we're just stepping back, adding a little bit more resistance. Let's get 3 more. Squeezing your shoulder blades every rep. Same count, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. So there's your back row. We give your back muscles a break. We go to your chest muscles. So now with my Thera Band, couple options. This could be with my Thera Band just under my arm and under my shoulder blades. I can bring my elbows out to 90 degree. and then I'm just pressing right out and back to 90. So if I want to do something a little different with more resistance, I can do the same thing I did for my back row, and I can attach my Thera Band, and I could do my chest press here from 90. And again, I'm staggering my feet just to support. So it might be my first set with my left foot forward. My second set might be with my right foot forward, just to keep the balance. So there's my chest exercises, my back exercise. Now maybe I want to go to my shoulders. So I'm going to switch back to this other Thera Band. So for my shoulders, there's a few different options here. One might be your anterior delt. Again, that could be stepping on your Thera Band. Depending on your shoulder strength, if that's too much, maybe we hold more on the end, or maybe I give a bit more length by having one foot under the Thera Band. That makes it a little easier to come up to shoulder height. If that's too easy, I can go a little bit wider and bring it up, or you can hold a little bit lower on your Thera Band and come up. So that's the anterior delt. We can also go to your medial delt, and that would be coming up to shoulder height at your side. And then if I wanted to get my posterior delt of my shoulder, that might be going into that bent over position and then extending my arms up and back. And then I feel my shoulder blade squeeze behind me. I'm keeping my abs engaged, taking in a breath, shoulder blade squeeze with each rep, keeping my head in a nice neutral line with the rest of my spine. Remember, your building phase is always as you lower your arms or the weight back down, so that should always be slow and controlled. So that's for my delts. Now maybe I want to go overhead for my shoulders. So a military press or a shoulder press, typically with the dumbbells. If you have any shoulder concerns, instead of a 90-degree elbow straight up here with your abs engaged, just coming down to 90, I could also bring my elbow in at my body line and go from 90 and up. So you can pick what feels most comfortable for you. Pressing up overhead. Again, if that's too much resistance, I can put one foot under, and then I've got a little less resistance there. Or again, just holding more on the end of your Thera Band. So for you, that's for your shoulders. Now maybe I want to get my arm muscles. So for your bicep, again, I can stand on my Thera Band and go with a hammer curl. I can curl it right up, down to a slight bend at the elbow. If you want to switch to the other handle, you might do a supinated bicep curl. So your supinated position is nice with the handles. And the same thing, I'm stepping on my Thera Band, but now I've got my palms facing up, working the short head of my bicep, and I can curl there instead. So you can mix up your Thera Bands. There's my biceps. Get a couple more there. I think we got about 10 reps. How about your triceps? Triceps could be a couple choices. If I want to do a tricep kickback, I could start here and I can kick my arm straight behind me from 90, keeping my abs engaged. So it's just extension of the elbow. If that's too tough, we can lengthen it a little bit. If you have lower back concerns, you might decide you want to do this one standing nice and tall with a neutral spine. And that could be, there's that 90-degree elbow there, and we go straight up. So then we get an overhead tricep extension. So you might decide you want your first set as a bent over tricep extension, and then your second set you might be going overhead. And then maybe we want to do one for your abductors and adductors. So we can take our Thera Band, We can loop it through. Maybe it's just like a half hitch through, so you can untie that Thera Band. And then I can keep my body tall, and I'm just stepping. So I might be stepping maybe 5 steps to my left, and then I'm stepping to my right. That could just be a step, or it could be bringing in that squat and getting low. So lots of options with the Thera Band. Whatever you choose, one was with or without handles. You can roll up your Thera Band and throw it in your pack. You can take it traveling with you, so you can do your exercise wherever you may be. So that's it for the exercise Thera Band workout. Thank you.